Hello, I'm Steve Nathans-Kelly from the red carpet at Streaming Media West. We're actually winding down the last day of the show here, and I'm sitting here with Jan Ozer, contributing editor to Streaming Media, chief instructor at the Streaming Learning Center. And as we get to the end of the show this year, you know, I'm just interested, what do you think of the key takeaways from the show this year, Jan?
Key takeaways for me were, number one, I guess, cloud. And cloud in very strategic places. In a live situation, you know, if we were streaming this live, we only had 2 megabits per second bandwidth out. We wanted to send one stream and split that out into multiple streams. That's a perfect application for cloud computing. And everybody seems to have a product in that category now. You know, iStream Planet talked about one, HeyVision has one, Elemental Encoder has one. I mean, it's Squeeze, I think, Sorensen has one. So I think cloud encoding, at least in the real type application, I think is a very significant takeaway. And along the same vein, the whole live market just seemed to explode this year. I mean, Livestream and Ustream are both, they're both big sponsors. They've got big booths, but man, the traffic and the interest, I think, in all their applications was very significant. And I guess Ustream is showing this cool new webcam from Logitech that the webcam can talk directly to your Wi-Fi hub, bypassing the computer, so it can shoot the picture, encode the video, and send that directly to Ustream. You don't even need a computer, you just need a Wi-Fi hotspot. That's pretty cool. And for the first time I saw the mixer, I'm trying to remember the numbers, I think it's the 500 or I know it's an $8,500 portable mixer from Livestream.
It's the HD 5000, right?
Yeah, something like that. But it's, I really, I had not seen the software before. I'd heard the announcement and saw the price, and I really thought the product was focused or targeted against Wirecast. Multi-camera switching, some titling capability. But if you take a look at the product, it really seems like it's much more focused on the TriCaster class of products. And that's pretty interesting. TriCaster's been a great, it's a great product line. It's legendary. A lot of people use it, but it's really had no competition in that space. And what Livestream is doing is, if you can buy the box, and the box for them was kind of the proof of concept, right? They wanted to test operation on one set of known inputs, one set of operating system, one type of device. Once they feel that it's secure, it's stable, it's going to work on a lot of different devices, they're going to roll it out as a software package only. And what they're going to do is it's free if you're a Livestream subscriber, right. But it's $2,000 if you want to use it to connect to Ustream or some other service provider. So they really are getting into the software business, and I think they really see their vision of the product as creating streams for them to distribute. But I also think that they're for real in the software business, and that's going to be a very, very interesting product. I mean, if it's as good as it looked, it's going to be quite a competitor for TriCaster.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question we're going to have to take a look at that one. So now, it's an interesting move coming from that side of it, but then kind of moving closer to the production side and to the.
Yeah, well, I spoke to their president, Max. I always say his name wrong, but I think it's Hout or Hout. I asked him, you getting in the software business, and he said, we're not. I mean, he's a very sweet guy, and he's very tuned into the market. But he says, we don't really care about the people who are in this room. We care about the next million people who are going to be streaming live, and that's who we built the software for. So it's, I think he really is still trying to drive business to live stream with the software, but you can't dip your toe into the software water. You got to be credible, and the software looks very, very credible.
All right, well, that's a good wrap up. I think it's been a good show this year.
Yeah, nice.
I've been in here most of the time, but good to get the word from somebody who's been out there.
Well, it was it was a high energy show. Been to 3 shows this year. Not every one of the shows was as positive as this one was, and it really seemed like the people who came through were interested, and they were producing, and they wanted to do more producing, and the exhibitors were happy with the traffic. They always want more, but they felt that the people who showed up at the booth were very high quality prospects, and I had a bunch of people who asked really piercing questions in my sessions, and it's nice to see a lot of interest out there. I mean, I think it's been a really good show all the way around.
They didn't get you rattled at all?
It's
tough question.
What's really kind of it's interesting to me is that I gave the same talk, particularly on producing for HTML5. So HTML5, I mean, we're not talking about coding, and we're talking about religion, right? Because Flash is bad, and HTML5 is good. And when you point out simple facts like, hey, only 66% of the browsers out there are HTML5 compatible, it's like people are like, what? And then, only 80% of those play H.264, and it's like, what? And Mozilla still hasn't licensed H.264. It's like, and people just get really riled about it. And I don't really have a fish to fry. I don't really care, right? I don't. But I want to work on the basis of facts. And the fact is, whether it's Dash or whether it's HTML5, I mean, at this point, it's they've all got, it's like, if it's so good, why isn't CBS and CNN and Fox and ESPN using it? Why are they still using Flash? They're using HTML5 somewhat on the mobile side, but for desktops, it's still Flash. And if don't tell me it's awful, don't tell me about the flaws. Show me people who are using it and replacing Flash with HTML5. And it's just they're not doing it because it's not there yet. 2.5 years ago, the iPad was introduced and Flash was dead. I mean, we all saw the headline. So 2.5 years later, here we are, and it's really it's really sad when perception drives, perception's more important than reality. And the reality is, whether it's Dash or whether it's HTML5, it's just not being used. Not that Flash is this great technology. It's just it's used on the desktop. It provides a superior experience to what you can get from HTML5. It's more pervasive than HTML5, and that's what people are using. And it just really stinks that 2 years, then 2 years after the iPad came out, now 2.5 years, the experience isn't the equivalent for an iPad as it is on a Flash-based desktop. Yet people still say Flash is dead, and it's a terrible technology. That's. I think
and we're going to use every bit of this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Jan. It's been good to do this wrap up, and we're going to sign off now from the red carpet at Streaming Media West.